Newly updated and developed safety protocols have just been released to us by the city of Albany. Now, those protocols were put in place after the deaths of two public works employees last year.
That's right. An internal death investigation revealed, quote, a lack of proper safety equipment, inadequate training, and repeated dismissal of safety concerns by management in the death of Public Works employee Sebastian Dykes Jr. Dykes was buried alive while working on a sewer line in December 2024, and we are still waiting on the final investigative report into the death of another Public Works employee, Darius Stevens, who died after being swept into the Flint River in February 2024 while collecting water samples.
WALB News 10's investigator Jamie Worsley joins us to explain what these protocols include, and she gets reaction from a former city employee about how these changes could have saved his friend's life.
When we interviewed then new Albany City Manager Terrell Jacobs back in February, he admitted to systemic failures by the city that resulted in the deaths of two city employees in 2024. Now we're learning what those specific failures were and what the city's doing to make sure they don't happen again. According to an Albany Police Department memo, Sebastian Dykes Jr.'s death, quote, highlighted a culture of negligence, cost-cutting, and disregard for worker safety that created an environment where such tragedies were inevitable.
There's no one person that is at fault for those two lives. It's just, we fail that those two young men and not having certain things and not practicing certain protocols that we should have been practicing.
In the case of Sebastian Dykes Jr., WALB has received the full report into his death. The city admits that there was no trench box in use while he was working on the sewer line, and that the job site had well-known hazards, including soft ground and flowing water. The old SOPs from 2014 do not mention the use of trench boxes at all, just general safety devices. The 2025 updates now require employees to use trench boxes when required, wear other PPE, and follow safe excavation practices. The memo on Dykes' death also states, quote, crew supervisors raised concerns about unsafe working conditions and the need to contract out dangerous jobs, but their recommendations were ignored by upper management due to cost considerations. On the day Darius Stevens died, it was raining heavily, and the employee who was supposed to be with Stevens was waiting in the truck. Now, the city's newly released SOPs require that sample collectors must wear certain gear and avoid working in inclement weather or low visibility unless necessary, using a buddy system whenever possible, and use whistles, radios, and life preservers and grab lines during an emergency. Al Watts worked for Albany Public Works for 13 years. He says these protocols sound good on paper, but they are too little, too late for his dear friend Darius.
The life jackets, for collecting samples, that's a great thing that should have already been in place. But still, them addressing the stability of the platform to where you collect samples for, that's not even addressed, because they're still collecting samples on, unstable ground.
Jacobs was not able to discuss who, or if anyone, was fired as a result of the employee death investigations. He did recently get it approved, though, to hire 7 new safety officers to enforce protocols at work sites. Interviews start next week. For WALB Investigates, I'm Jamie Worsley.
Now, WALB once again requested the final death investigation report for Darius Stevens from the city attorney's office. We were told, quote, City Attorney Custer advised that to her knowledge, there is no report regarding the incident concerning Mr. Stevens, end quote.